Okay, awesome. Welcome to Mentor Corner, everyone. Good to have you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So we had a lot of questions. So I just created like a summary of the questions for myself. So I may not like read your specific question before I answer, but just know that whatever I'm answering, your question probably made it in somewhere because there are four areas of questions that you all sent in. So I will go through the four areas and answer the best I can. So I hope you came with your notes so that you can take notes. There will be a recording, but it's not going to be available. Uh, it's not going to be available for very long. Okay. Or I might just end up sending the recording to those who registered. Yes, because that's very important to me. One of the things that is important to me is recognizing and rewarding those who show up. Okay, not just those who register and it's like okay, I registered, but showing up, being active, letting your voice be heard in the community. It will be unfair for me to treat everybody the same because everybody is not the same, and I recognize that. So the recording will probably be just for those who registered, not for the entire circle. Okay. Yeah. So let's get started. So there are four categories. When I looked over the questions, I saw like four general categories. And those categories are getting into tech or, transitioning into tech, then getting opportunities, landing opportunities, either 9 to 5, freelance, like that. That's the second category. Then the third category, who is this? Okay. And then the third category is building of skills. So, how do I build my skills, or how do I stay consistent while building my skills, or how can I gain more visibility as somebody who has these skills? Okay. So that's the third category. Then the fourth category is more of mindset. So people had questions about how do I grow? How do I have a better mindset? And people also had questions about mentorship. So that's going to be the fourth category. Okay. So I'm going to take about 45 minutes and go through each of those categories so that I can leave some time at the end for follow-up question. Okay. So if you have follow-up question or you have a question that you feel wasn't addressed, you can put it in the chat, and time permitting, I will check and I will answer. All right. So please have your pen and paper, because let me tell you something about wisdom. Wisdom, wisdom is different from knowledge in the sense that knowledge is just the information. Knowledge is the information, right? Wisdom has those who are versed in some biblical teaching. You know the difference between logos and rema. Okay, it's the same concept. Wisdom has a timing component to it. It's not just pure knowledge. It's just not raw knowledge. Okay, so wisdom has a timing component. There is something you will hear today and it will just go in one ear and out the other. It's because the timing is not right. But wisdom has a timing. That's why you can have like 100 people in the room and maybe only 5 people will hear what was said and run with it. And when you check their life a year later, they are markedly different from the remaining 95. The reason is because the 95, what they got was knowledge. But the 5, what they got was wisdom. Okay. So I'm just encouraging you. You don't have to see nothing I say in this community has to be followed. When I speak, I don't speak and then start waiting to see, okay, who listened, who I don't trust me. Once I finish with you people, I go back to my very busy life. Okay. So nobody will pursue you or chase you to check. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be checking after, oh, did you do it? Did you? No, because we're all adults here. Okay. So those of you who have taken ownership of your journey, please have your pen and paper, because there are some things you will hear that you may have heard it times past, but today it will click. And when it clicks, that is what you run with. That's what you take and you go. Okay. Please, if you are in here and you are not muted, please mute yourself. Okay. Please mute yourself. If you are not familiar with the platform, let us know. Okay. So getting into tech and career transitions. You know, the process of getting into tech is a process. I studied on a space yesterday. Unfortunately, many of us, when we start our tech journey, the messaging we get from people is just learn this skill and you'll make it. Just have this skill and you'll blow. Just have this skill and money will start coming in. Okay, it's not like that. It's not like that. Getting into tech is a process. And let me tell you for free, whatever anybody tells you in terms of what to focus on, how to do this, how to learn this, they are all suggestions. Your responsibility is crafting your own roadmap. Nobody can craft a roadmap for you. Anybody giving you a roadmap is a suggestion, because that person is not you. That person does not live in your own life context. That person does not have your history. So I cannot step fully into your shoes to know who you are in total to now craft a roadmap for you that suits you. All I can give you is a suggestion. It is your responsibility to now figure out how to make that roadmap or how to make that strategy work for you. Okay. So for those of you who are in the learning process now, let me give you a generalized advice. You're the one that will now figure out how to make it work for you. Okay. So you are in the learning, meaning you're not in job market. Okay. You are in the learning process. Now, listen, the more you can avoid being dependent on somebody else, the better for you. Okay. Those of you who are still children, and what I mean by that is maybe you are still in school, somebody's paying your education, or you're living with your parents, that combination. As far as I'm concerned, you are still a child that is under you're under the authority of your parents. It's a little different for you because you are still a child. So there's still that expectation of being provided for. That's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to those of you who, for the most part, maybe you've had a season in your life where you were responsible for yourself. Okay. Not saying that family members are still not supporting you, chipping in, but for the most part, your lifestyle is your responsibility. As much as you can, maintain that. Please don't be tempted to say, oh, let me quit this job, quit this business, quit the method I am keeping body and soul together so I can focus 100% on tech. Don't make that mistake. A lot of you are tempted to do that because you hear somebody who will tell you their testimony, oh, I use 23 hours every day to study tech. And then they'll tell you, and I did that for 3 weeks and I got a job. So now you are tempted. You now make the conclusion that, oh, it's because they had all this time. It's because they had all this time. That's how come they were able to transition so quickly. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. There's something called peace of mind. Tech is hard. Tech is hard. Tech is not, especially now that the competition is so fierce. Tech is tough. So what will help you to retain and actually assimilate what you are learning is not having to worry about other things. It's not having to worry about other things. It's not having the stress of, okay, somebody is paying your bills. Now they're all in your ear. Human beings are funny. I don't care how nice they were in the beginning. A human being will always human being. A human being will always human being. So as much as you can, if it means that your own journey ends up being longer, so be it. It's better for your journey to be longer and more solid. It's better for your journey to be longer and more secure than for you to rush through it. Why? Because you've created an arbitrary timeline in your brain. And then you get to the end of it, and then because there are so many holes in your knowledge, so many gaps in your knowledge or your competency, you're not able to now actually perform. Don't set yourself up. Don't play yourself. Okay. So that's the first thing I would say is please respect the importance of, as much as you can, be self-sufficient. It contributes to peace of mind. Even if it is 1 hour a day that you can spend on tech, that 1 hour will be focused. That 1 hour will be, deliberately, you are spending it, and you can actually free your mind and just focus 100% of your mind on that tech. As opposed to having 4 hours, but in that 4 hours, you're being disturbed, you're being, you understand what I'm saying there. Secondly, as you are learning, please learn in public. Okay? If you don't have social media accounts, go and create them. If they are dormant, go and resurrect them. Okay? LinkedIn, Twitter. That's where a lot of tech people live. Not so much. The thing with TikTok is video. Okay, so that's why I don't recommend TikTok. TikTok is video. And anybody who is using text on TikTok, nobody is reading text on TikTok. I promise you. Yeah. So LinkedIn and Twitter. Learn in public. What does that mean? Whatever you are learning, post. I learned HTML today. Post. I learned about query selector in JavaScript. Post. I learned about user stories. Post. I learned about, white hat versus black hat. Post. Whatever it is. It's not about followers. It's not about likes. It's about creating a persona online that points to the fact that you are a tech professional. That's the purpose of learning in public. Learning in public is not for likes. Anybody who told you different, forget about what they told you. Listen to what I'm telling you. Learning in public is not for likes. Learning in public is not for, people are engagement. No, it's not for that. It is to have a persona online. It is to have a profile online that when somebody looks you up and they see the content of your social media, they will be convinced that, oh yes, this person is really about this tech life. That's what it's for. So please learn in public wherever. If you have not been learning, start now. Start now to do it. Okay? It's not about who follows you. It's not about who engages with you. Just post it. Post it on Twitter. Post it on LinkedIn. If what you're posting has any relevance to anybody on social media, tag them. Don't check to see, did they come to like it? Nobody gives a shit. Just tag them. Okay? Take it from me. It will help you. It will help you. Learning in public. Okay? Then the next thing I will say is, as you are learning, okay, this is particularly true for the more technical fields in tech. As you are learning, please don't be deceived into thinking that just because you follow a tutorial, you know it. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's a difference between implementation and engineering. There's a difference between following steps and coming up with them yourself. That is actually creating the process. There's a difference. Okay. So for many of you, this point I'm giving you will slow you down, but it's for a purpose. Don't make the mistake of thinking that just because you completed a course or a module that you now have like solid. No, you don't. All you have amassed is just knowledge in your head. So as much as you can in your learning, find opportunities to apply what you have learned. Don't just take in knowledge, information, data, but you are not actually applying it. And what I mean by applying it is apply it in an unfamiliar context. So for example, product manager, let's say you go through an exercise in your learning material or whatever, YouTube, whatever, and they show you how to come up with, I'm coming down with a code. And they show you how, no, I'm not coming down with a code, I'm overcoming the code, in Jesus' name. And they show you how to, let's say they show you how to develop maybe like a product roadmap, something like that. Okay. And so in that example, they will supply you a product idea. Probably they will supply you a product idea. So you go through the example with the product idea they supply to you. Okay. After you finish that exercise, don't tell yourself, oh, now I know how to do product roadmap. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay. No, you don't. So the next step is to now locate a product that wasn't given to you. Preferably a product that has nothing, it's not even in the same category as the product you did the exercise in, and create product group. That's an unfamiliar context. The hazard of learning materials is they create the context for you. They define it for you. So it's like a playground. I don't know if you've ever seen children. When a child enters a playground that has an enclosure, okay, and the different activities are there, they are very bold. You know why? Because it's defined. It's already defined, right? And it has been called a playground. So those little toddlers, they run in, they are all over the place, and they look as if they are so courageous. They look as if, okay, take those same children and set them loose in a field, a big field that does not have any boundary. They will huddle around you. They won't go. They will huddle around you. They will hold the leg of their mother and they will be looking like this. You know why? Because there's no boundary. Because there's no boundary. So they don't know, if I start going now, I feel lost. You understand? Yeah. So it's the same thing with learning. Competency is built in unfamiliar contexts, not familiar context. Knowledge and data is developed in familiar context. Competency is developed in unfamiliar contexts, in contexts that have not been, that is, it has not been planned and organized for your benefit. That's where competency is developed. Okay, so there are some of you, something is going off in your head. Whenever I hear that complaint, I learned this, I took this course, Mama, I took that course, but now when it came to the interview, I couldn't perform. You know why? Because the interview is unfamiliar context. And you have not built your muscles of exercising your skills in an unfamiliar context. You've only done it in context that has been defined and organized and dressed up for you. And that's what courses do. That's what boot camps do. So think of it as a playground. So the boot camp and the course is a playground. The real world is the field that does not have any boundary. It's just going and going and going and going. There's no boundary in sight. But that is where competency is developed. Okay. So there are some of you, that's why you keep taking course after course. You keep taking, because you are mistaking the acquisition of information and knowledge for competence. Competence is knowledge applied in unfamiliar contexts, effectively applied. Competency is knowledge and skills effectively applied in unfamiliar context. That's competency. And tech hires for competency, doesn't hire for knowledge. Okay? Tech hires for competency, not knowledge. Write that down. Tech hires for competency, not knowledge. That's why a lot of you are still failing, in spite of all the boot camps and courses you have taken. It's because you're mistaking knowledge for competence. Okay? All right. So that's in terms of just learning. In terms of learning, and that's I'm just going through when you're in your learning phase. Okay? So you want to learn in public. You want to, as much as possible, expose yourself to unfamiliar contexts. And then you want to maintain a lifestyle that supports your learning process. Don't go and quit your job and then create artificial pressure for yourself. Don't do that bullshit. Don't do it. Oh, I must make tech in 3 months. Why? Don't do that. It's like you're creating artificial problem for yourself. Then you come back and say tech didn't work for you. No, you didn't work for tech. That's what happened. It is you that didn't work for tech, not the other way around. Okay? All right. We are all in a community, so I'm not going to belabor the community point. If this were a Twitter space, I would do it. But all of you here are already in the community, so definitely community is important. Okay, but you're already here and you're seeing the benefits of it. Okay. The second category, which is landing opportunities, most of the questions were in this category. Most of the questions were in this category of how do I get a job, how do I get a gig, how do I land a gig. Okay. Now, there's some practical things that need to be in place. Okay, before before you get out there in the jungle. It's a real jungle. Okay, the jungle of job hunting, trying to get a gig, proposal, Upwork, all of that. It's a real jungle. Okay, but some things need to be in place. Okay, you need to have. Most people will go on LinkedIn, even for gigs. Don't play yourself. Don't kid yourself that, oh, just because it's Upwork you are using, they will check. They will look you up. They will search LinkedIn and your name. Okay, so don't play yourself. Okay, all right. So you want your LinkedIn to be optimized. I have on the Quinarit portal, the Quinarit platform, I have a challenge called LinkedIn Optimization Challenge. Go and take it. Okay, I'm not going to belabor the point of optimization, but your LinkedIn needs to be optimized. It needs to have the pertinent information that speaks to a professional, so that when they look you up and they read your LinkedIn, they'll say, okay, this person is a professional. Okay, you need to have a resume that speaks to your ability to create impact. Don't say, oh, I'm on Upwork. A lot of times on Upwork, you will create a profile, right? That's your resume. Don't say, oh, I'm on Upwork. No, have a resume, have an actual. Sometimes you'll be on Upwork or one of those platforms. They'll say, send me your resume. I don't have, no. Okay. So don't put your faith in platforms. Platforms are there to support your career, not to make it. And there are some of you, because again, you sat in a space somewhere, you sat in a course somewhere, Google Meet, and they told you, oh, ever since I joined Upwork, now I get gigs every. So now you now make the conclusion, oh, Upwork is the way. No, it's not. No, it's not. You are the way, not Upwork. So Upwork will not make your career. Stop expecting Upwork to make your career. It will not. It's there as just a resource, a tool. Okay? Yeah. So have a resume. Now your resume needs to communicate impact. Let me give an example. Let's say one of the responsibilities let's say there was a volunteer opportunity that you took, right? Unpaid volunteer, you wanted to build your skills. And part of your responsibilities at this opportunity was to lead a weekly meeting. And that weekly meeting was to ensure, was to cover, okay, what has the team done in the week prior and what is the plan for the coming week, okay? So that's the responsibility. Now, some of you will write this in your resume. Conducted, this is what you write in your resume under, that job, that opportunity. You will say, conducted a weekly meeting where we went over what we did or accomplished in the week prior, and then we made plans for the next week. That's what many of you write in your resume. That is a description of what you did. That is not the impact you created. Okay. That is a description of what you did. Excuse me. Hello, ma. I'm teaching. I'm teaching a session. Let me call you back. Where are you going? You're going to gym. I should be done like maybe like 9:30 or thereabouts. Hopefully. I know it's a while. Okay, no problem. Okay, bye. Sorry, that's my sister. What was I saying? So that's what a lot of you will put there, and you will be feeling good. You say, I described this. Okay. You just talked about what you did. You did not describe the impact of what you did. So let me give an example of impact. Ensured the efficiency and effectiveness of whatever the team name was, this so and so team, okay? Ensured the efficiency and effectiveness of so and so team by conducting a weekly meeting by conducting a weekly meeting. I don't want to say ensure again, I'm doing this off top of my head, so forgive me if I'm repeating words. But okay, let me start again. Ensured at least 80% efficiency and effectiveness of tasks completed by conducting a weekly meeting with relevant members of such and such team. That's impact. That's impact. It's the same responsibility. But the first sentence, ran a weekly meeting with so and so members of this team to go over what we did in the week before and to discuss the upcoming week. That's what you did. Ensured at least 80% efficiency and effectiveness of tasks scheduled, or ensured at least 80% of completion of tasks scheduled. That's impact. You understand? Your resume is a documentation of your impact, not of what you did. Now, contained in the impact will be what you did, but you are not leading with what you did. You are leading with your impact. So, about 90% of you in this room, you need to go and write your resumes. Because what a lot of you are doing is you are taking the job description and making it your resume. If I read your resume and I read the job description and there's very little difference, then what's the point of your resume? I can just trash it. You understand? If I read the job description for the job you applied to that you are now working, and then I now read your resume and it's looking like the same, what's the point of your resume? But if your resume is impact driven, then it's even interesting. It makes me to generate questions. If I read like, oh, 80%, that's completion rate from week to week because of this meeting. You know what I want to ask you? What were the elements of the meeting? What were the specific things you did in the meeting? Now it makes me interested in you when I read an impact statement. But when I read, just a description of what you did, then you sound like everybody. Do you know how many people are doing meetings? Do you know how many people are conducting meetings? You sound like every other Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. So, this is me covering the presentation. I've not even gotten to now, I'm talking about being prepared. You have to be prepared. So your LinkedIn, your resume. Now, for those of you who are in particular, not every field necessarily requires a portfolio. But if your field requires a portfolio, then you need a portfolio. Please have a portfolio. Have a portfolio. On your portfolio, you get the chance to tell your story in a more visual way. That's why I like portfolios. Okay. You get the chance to demonstrate your competency in a more visual way. Okay. That's why I like portfolios. And on your portfolio, make sure there is a link to your resume. Like if I click it, I can download your PDF resume. Make sure there's a link to your LinkedIn. On your resume, make sure there's a link to your LinkedIn. Make sure there's a link to your portfolio. On your LinkedIn, there's a place in LinkedIn you can attach documents. Please attach your resume on your LinkedIn and put a link to your portfolio. Wherever I land on your profiles, I should be able to easily get to the other one. Don't make me look. Don't make me hunt. Because if you make me hunt, I reject you. If you make me hunt, I will reject you. I will not go hunting. Okay. So don't make me hunt. Let me be on your portfolio. And the minute I say, oh, I wish I had that resume, bam, I see the button there. Download resume. Make it easy for me. Okay. Make it easy for me. Yes. So have a portfolio. I prefer portfolios that are one page. All of you that are creating portfolio like websites, stop it. Me, I will not go deep. Me that I have 50 candidates and I have to reduce 50 candidates to 12. Then you want me to start entering your portfolio. I will not enter. So what I recommend is have a landing page style portfolio. Let everything be on one page so that at least when I quickly scroll, because I'll scroll for 5 seconds, when I quickly scroll, I can see the highlight. Bam, 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 bam. But by the time your landing page is just your picture and your name here, then you are not expecting me to start climbing a tree. I will not climb it. I'm just letting you know. Okay. So there are some of you that have a portfolio. Hey, I'm not seeing job. I'm not getting called back. I wonder why. When you are creating work for recruiters and hiring managers, don't do that. Don't do that. Some of you think that if you have multiple pages nested under, it shows complexity. No, it doesn't. It just makes it harder to get the information. Okay. And if whenever it is hard to get information, I will just quickly go to the person for whom it's easy to get information. I know what the tragedy is. The tragedy is you could be so much better than that person, but that person will get the job because they made it easy to get the information. You were nesting it. Okay. I'm just here to tell you the truth. Take it or leave it. I'm good. I have my good career and I'm building it as and I've faced tragedy. I've been laid off. I've been sacked. I've been fired. So it's not as if, my career journey has been rosy. But I tell you for free, I am building the shit out of that. I'm building it. Okay. So after I finish here, I'm going to go back to building my career. So you can take it or leave it. Some of you now, I don't like the way she's talking. She's so. Welcome to Queen Circle. Okay. I'm Judge, Jury, and Executioner here. I'm the Alpha and Omega. Okay. Okay, so I just talked about CV. I just talked about CV. Yeah, so you want to have those things in place. Okay, you want to have them ready. Okay, I don't care what it is you're doing. Gig, I don't care. Gig, freelance, I don't care. Have those things ready, all of them. Okay. Now, in terms of actually applying, there are many ways to do it. There's a method they call spray and pray. Have you heard that method? Spray and pray. That is, you just blanket everywhere with application. Spray and pray. So that's a strategy. You can do it. Just whenever you see opportunity, you just just apply anyhow, then you go and pray. I mean, and it has worked for some people. Okay. If that is not working for you, let me give you at least a protocol. Okay. You don't, yes, Robert, King Robert. That's what they call it. They call it spray and pray. That's what they call it. Okay. So I'm gonna give two protocols. Okay, that you can use. Two protocols. So one is for like more 9 to 5, whether it's full-time contract, part-time, but like sort of like a fixed employment. Let's put it like that. Okay. And then I'm going to give a strategy for freelance. Okay, freelance and gigs. So the first one is, you know, having like a strategy. This is what I recommend. Okay. Now it takes time and it takes energy. So if you are low energy, you can do spray and pray. Okay. If you're just overrated, you can do spray and pray. Spray and pray is low energy in terms of investment, energy investment, compared to what I'm about to share. But what I'm about to share over time has, just give me 1 second, people. My nose, eh? Let me get just 1 second. Let me get something to be wiping my nose so that I don't look like I don't have home training. I'm coming. And it might also be this fan that I have blowing in my face. Just I don't want to sweat. Okay. All right. Let me pull you closer. Okay. All right. 1 second, please. It's my children. Oh. They go out and they touch all kind of things. Not my children. My son is older. My daughter. And she put in her mouth. Then she'll come and hug me. Mommy, I love you. Mommy, I love you so much. And then she transfers it. Okay, what was I saying? Yes. So I know she really screaming. so this is a sort of a higher energy investment, but I think it has a greater potential of payoff. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with when you see an opportunity, you apply. Okay. And that can be helpful. So I'm not saying neglect that. I'm not saying if you see opportunity and it looks like it aligns with your skills, you shouldn't apply. No, I'm not saying that. Apply. Whenever opportunity strikes, apply. Okay. This strategy is in addition to that. Okay. What you do is and you can use ChatGPT for this. Talk with ChatGPT. Get a sense for the type of company or the type of business where your skills could be useful. Talk with ChatGPT. ChatGPT can be very helpful with this. Okay. And when you figure that out, make a list of companies. Okay. Make a list of companies that they don't have to be your dream company. Some people say, oh, make a list of your dream company. No, it doesn't have to be your dream company. It just needs to be a company where skills like yours could be useful. Okay. Make a list of companies. Now, with that list of companies, use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is invaluable for this. With those list of companies, use LinkedIn to locate people that have some connection to that company. Either they work currently at the company, or they used to work at the company, or they are connected to somebody who works at the company or used to work at the company. Okay, that's why I say this. It takes time and energy investment. But when you are strategic with your tech career, it will reward you. Your career will reward you. Okay, so you make a list of those people. Now, the goal is to network with these people, to make some kind of connection with these people. Okay, and so maybe on LinkedIn you can follow them. And like I said, with your learning in public, part of learning in public is also engaging in public. So set aside a few hours every week to engage with relevant accounts. Okay. Commenting, liking, retweeting, reposting, that sort of thing. That's part of it. So you locate these accounts, make a list for each company, okay, or for each industry. Make that list, and then you start engaging with these accounts. You follow them, okay. Please don't go to their DM immediately. They don't know who you are. Okay. So you start engaging with them, okay? And as you are engaging, please keep your engagement industry specific. Don't do this nonsense. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. You know what that does? That makes you look like a simpleton. That makes you look like somebody who is just burning time on social media without any purpose. Okay? Yes. When you engage with accounts strategically, sound professional. It's not the time to say, oh my gosh, oh, you made a good point. Oh, wow, I love your point. Oh, wow, this really spoke to me. Like, don't do that, okay? Wherever you are coming. So, for example, let's say you are learning TypeScript and you are engaging with James Q. Quick. James Q. Quick is a very well-known person in engineering, right? You are engaging with, and he posts technical content. He'll post, okay, I'm guilty. Thanks for sharing. Stop that nonsense. Okay. You have to sound professional. Oh, this really spoke to me. Shut up. Nobody cares. Okay. So back to the example. You are you are interacting with James Q Quick and you just started learning TypeScript. And maybe he posts something on TypeScript and you like it. When you comment, please don't go and say, "Thank you for sharing this. This really helped me." No. You that is learning TypeScript, what you go and comment is something like this. You say, "Oh, James, this was amazing to James, this was amazing to read. As a TypeScript newbie, I am grappling with keeping my types straight. I am grappling or I'm struggling as a TypeScript newbie." Or you can start with, as somebody who felt comfortable in JavaScript, TypeScript is after my life, specifically keeping my types straight as I'm coding. But your content has really helped me. When somebody read that, they will say, "Okay, this is a professional." But you got it because you see, let me tell you something. When you interact with people's content, you are gradually putting yourself in their subconscious. They may not like it. They may not comment back. They may not follow you. They may not do anything, but trust me, they are seeing it. And gradually, you are entering their subconscious. Gradually, you are entering their subconscious. By the time you now make a direct communication, they will feel like they know you, even though they don't. But they will feel like they do. Not just because you engage with their content, but you engage intelligently. You engage like a professional. Stop this nonsense. I see it all the time. "Oh, wow, this was good. Oh, wow." And then you go back home and you patch yourself and you say, "Oh, I interacted." You didn't interact. You didn't interact nothing. Okay. So that is a tip that you get from the QAC, Quinary Circle. Okay. When you engage with strategic accounts, when you're talking with those your useless friends, no problem. You can say whatever you want. But when you are engaging with strategic accounts, please sound like a professional. Okay. Say something that points to the fact that you are in this thing, even if you're just learning. Okay. So you keep it up like that. In a period of 6 months, they'll start to feel like they know you. I don't care what nobody say. Somebody that continue to, they always see you, you'll be in their subconscious. They may not know that they know that they know, but they'll now say, "Oh, maybe when you now DM or when you now, they'll be like, "Oh, you." There'll be like a kind of recognition that they will apply to you. Is because they keep seeing you engaging their content and engaging intelligently with their content. So that's the foundation. You start with that. Then you can now take it, maybe if there's like some side, maybe they like your post, or maybe they respond, or maybe there's a question you asked in your response and they respond to you. When you feel like, okay, there's now a little bit of reciprocity, a little bit, that's when you now go to the DM. That's when, yes, then you can use AI. Thank you, use AI. If you feel like say you're stupid, don't let your stupidity stop you. Okay? Don't let your stupidity stop you. Stupidity is not an excuse for not making it in this life. Let me just tell you, especially now in the age of AI. So wherever say you dolo, use AI to mitigate, you understand, to help you. Okay. So now with the DM, you see, we know you are looking for a job, but don't take your hunger to the DM. Don't take your hunger for job to the DM. Write it down. Don't take your hunger as if they want you for, but don't take and go DM, because it is not their problem. You not having a job is nobody's problem. You not having a job is nobody's problem. Okay. So don't lead with that. Many of you lead with your hunger. You lead with your empty bank account. Stop doing that. So when you go to the DM and you connect with somebody in the DM, you are connecting for information. You've already made the company list. And please, those company lists you make, go and research the company. Go and research. Write this down. This is what you research. Research history, just general history. Research current priorities. Research challenges. And research their competition. Research the history, company history. Research current priorities. That is, what are they about now? Research challenges to their current priority. And you can find this online. Go to news websites, go to news channel, just Google the company name. You can get this information. Okay? If anything you read about the company does not make sense, copy it and paste it into ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT to explain it to you. ChatGPT will break it down so you can understand. History, current priorities, challenges to current priorities, and then competitors. 4 things. Write it down. Okay? Research the company, so that when you go into this person's DM, you are armed with company information. Because what you're looking for is a job, but you're looking for that job through, you want to leverage the people that are connected to the company. You want to leverage them. Okay. So now you go into the DM and you say something like, I've really enjoyed, play up ego. Every human being has it. Women and men, we all have it. Play into their ego. I have really enjoyed consuming your content. Your content is so spot on. Your content, that is, I'm really enjoying your content. And I'm interested in learning more about such and such role at this company. See, whenever you connect in the DM, stop asking for things in the DM. Stop asking for jobs. Stop asking for referral. They don't know you, but they can get to know you. They can get to know you. I'm interested in learning about such and such role at this company, and I see that you work there or you worked there. Given the fact that the current company priority is ABC, now you are showing that you have done your research. You are not coming to be asking them, hey, please, what is the company priority? Something that you can find online. Let me tell you one of the quickest ways to present yourself as a stupid person. When you ask questions that you can find the answer online. But the person you're asking will not call you stupid. They will just categorize you in that category. They will just categorize you as stupid, but they will not tell you that you are stupid. And then you waste your DM opportunity. Many of you are wasting DM opportunities because you go into the DMs to ask questions that you can find the answer online. So you waste, not only do you present yourself as a stupid person, you waste the opportunity because now the person has categorized you. They will not tell you these things. Me, I'm giving you the insider information. They will not tell you these things, but they have categorized you. So you continue, you say, given the fact that the company's current priorities is ABC, I would appreciate your input, or I would appreciate, you sharing how you think or how you believe somebody can be better positioned to address these priorities. You've played to their ego. You've demonstrated the fact that you've done your research about the company, and you are asking for their informed opinion. That goes back to ego. It's only somebody who is like extremely busy or somebody who's an asshole that will ignore you. Either they're extremely busy, so they really don't have the bandwidth, or they're just an. Most normally adjusted people will answer you. But the reason they're answering you is not because you asked the question. The reason they're answering you is because you have put yourself on their subconscious radar through interacting with their content. That's the cheat code, but it takes time. Now, why that many of you will not do it? Because this is a months-long process. But I'm telling you, when it comes to referrals, when it comes to people inviting you to apply, that's when, because they've done half the work for you. By the time they're inviting you to apply, by the time they're offering to connect you with somebody you didn't have access to, but they have access to that person, it's almost like half the work is done. The only way you will mess it up is if you go and fuck the interview up because you lack competence or knowledge or whatever. But in terms of access, in terms of having an inroad, this strategy I just described is the golden ticket. That's how you network. Networking is not for friendship. Networking is not for engagement. Oh, they like my post. Oh, they retweeted. No, that's not what it's for. It is to advance your career and in time help advance other people's careers, which I'm now doing both. When I first started, I was only looking for who will advance my own. Now I'm doing both. Now I'm being advanced and I'm advancing. Okay? So that's how it works. That's on the job side. Now on the freelance side, it's a little different. On the freelance side, let me give you the protocol. When a freelancer is hired, it's different from job. With job, there's an expectation that yes, you will perform, but there's also an expectation that you will learn and you will train. Okay? So the expectation is twofold. Okay? There's an expectation that you will perform, yes, but there's also an expectation that you will learn, you will grow. They will link you, maybe you will have senior people on your team. There's an expectation that you're not coming with everything. Okay? That's not true with freelancing. Okay? That's not true. Freelancing is for expertise. Nobody, write this down, nobody is hiring a freelancer to train them. Nobody is hiring a freelancer for the freelancer to come and learn on the job. No. Okay. So it's a little different for gigs, for freelancing. For freelancing, you want to focus, you can do what I described for the 9 to 5, for the regular job people. You can do that. But in addition, as a freelancer, you have to position yourself as an expert. Okay. So your content has to consistently and regularly present you as an expert, even if you are not. I didn't say you have to be an expert. I say it needs to present you as an expert. So, as a freelancer, your content has to be in the lines of not just what you are learning, but what you know. Not just what you are learning. What you're learning is fine as well. But you also have to create content on what you know. And you need to present this content in a confident way. So, for example, a designer, when you post your designs that you are building, that you are growing in, you are learning, please, if freelance is what you want to, it's different if it's 9 to 5. But if freelance is what you want, please don't post like this. This is what I'm learning. I just started learning Canva, and this is what I built with what I'm learning. It's not really finished, but some of you are laughing. You know where I'm going. Okay. It's not really finished, but this is what I've come up with so far. Let me know your feedback. And then you send a proposal for a gig. And then when I look you up online, that's what I see. Never. I'll clap for you. I'll say keep learning. But I'm not giving you the job. Because with freelance, you are hired for your expertise. The reason I'm hiring you as a freelancer is because there is work I need done. And I either know how to do it and I don't have the time, or I don't know how to do it, but I need it done. That is the foundation of freelance. I know how to do it, but I don't have the time, I don't have the bandwidth, or it is low money making for me, meaning the time I would spend doing it is not going to make me a whole lot of money. Or I don't know how to do it. Either way, what I'm looking for is expertise. So let me give an example that you should follow. You have created a new design and you are learning Canva. That's the fact. That's the reality. I'm not denying the reality. It's the presentation. Okay. So you are learning Canva and you just created a design on Canva. This is what you post. Hey, all, this is my latest design using Canva. Canva is an amazing tool. It allows me to do this. It allows me to do that. I'm able to cut time because of this Canva feature. I'm so excited to get designs like this out to those who need them. Hit me up. Contact me if you need a high converting, attractive, high converting, effective design. I'm at your service. You see the difference? The fact has not changed. The fact of where you are in terms of your skill, your ability, your competence has not changed, but it is in presentation. To my freelancers out there, please stop presenting yourself as a learner. It will not help you. Okay, that's if you want gig. If you're not in the market for gig, no problem. But if you're in the market for gig, everything you post has to present you as a competent, ready professional. Competent and ready. That is now, I'm ready to work. Okay? So you see the difference in those two examples that I just gave. But the fact has not changed. You are learning Canva and you just created a design using Canva. But the first one, people will just say, oh, look at this baby. Yeah, they are coming up. The second one is like, wow. At no point in the second post did you mention, I just started using. Why? Why do people need to know that? They don't need to know that. Skip over that. Just start sharing your opinion about Canva. Canva is an amazing tool. Wow. This capability allows me to cut my time in half. I'm able to generate. Meanwhile, you are there fighting for your life, but do they need to know that? You are in control of how you appear. Take that to the bank. You are in control. Okay. I woke up. When did I wake up this morning? I woke up and I stood up to make my children breakfast, knowing that I'm coming to sit here. I could have sat here in my robe with my hair bonnet. I mean, my face is fine regardless, but my unwashed face. And you would still have received me. You would still have participated. You would have come, because many of you know the value behind. Okay, but what if there are some strangers here? Strangers in the sense that, they've never, this is their first mentor corner. You understand? And then they come and see me looking like that. They will say, is this one the one that's going to take me to my tech future? And I will not blame them. I will not blame them for that conclusion. You are in control of how you appear, regardless of the reality of your skill set or your competence level or your knowledge level. You are in control of how you present. Nobody controls that but you. Okay. So, like they say, fake it till you make it. Now, the way I take that saying is don't pretend to know what you don't know. But fake it till you make it simply means present as where you are going. Don't present as where you are. Don't present as where you are. Present as where you are going. Even if you're not there yet, present like that. It's those that already have, good amount of work products behind them. Those are the ones that can dress anyhow. Like Leon Noel. If Leon Noel shows up in his pajamas, they will still pay for the session. You know why? Because he's proven in the industry. But for the rest of us, presentation is everything. So the way you present online has a lot to do with people believe what you tell them to believe. So what you tell me to believe is what I will believe. Stop expecting that, just the way I show, they will know. They will not know. They will not know. They will not know. They will not know. Take it. They will not know. You have to tell them what to know. That's when they will know it. That's your job. So many of you are leaving a lot of things on the table. You are making a lot of assumptions. You're just assuming that, if somebody read it, they will know. No, you have to tell them. Even after they've read it, you still have to tell them. Okay? You still have to tell them. All right? Okay. I took a lot of time in that section, landing opportunities, because there were a lot of questions there. Okay? There were a lot of questions there. So we covered a lot. We covered about leading with impact. We covered, you need to know, you need to have all your profiles ready, your resume, your portfolio, your LinkedIn. For the engineers, your GitHub. Okay? There's a way you can create like a landing page on your GitHub account. There's a way you can do that. Let me see if I can quickly show what that looks like. Mine is really outdated, but let me just quickly show you. This is for the engineers in the room, okay? Let me just quickly show you, and then we'll come back, So there's a way if you create in your repo, so this is my repo, github.com/missarit. But if you create missarit/readme, so a readme in the root of your repo, you can create a landing page like this. You see, this is very short, it's very outdated. I've not touched it in like 3 years. But you see, it's very outdated. See my fat face. This is when I was fatter than I am today. I'm still looking fine though. Face card, don't decline. So, so you can create you can create a landing page like this. And it's good because for engineering particularly, they may come here first. They may not go to your portfolio, they may not go to your LinkedIn, they may come here first. So when they come here, have something to tell them. Don't let it just be random repos, just random. So in GitHub, you can have your pinned repo. So you can pin the repo that you want them to focus on first, This is like a GitHub landing page. Forget about my squares. I work in enterprise now, so you won't see anything here. It's proprietary software. But you can see your hair, So just I want to give an example because for the engineers particularly, or let me not just say engineers. If you maintain a GitHub, because sometimes PMs have GitHubs, sometimes designers have, So if you maintain a GitHub, please have your GitHub README configured with information like this, okay? And you can use Markdown, right? It's Markdown. So there are so many, you can make it dynamic, but it's Markdown, okay? All right, let me stop sharing the tab. Okay, I've stopped sharing the tab. Okay, we are back. Okay, so let's go on to the third category. So this category is about building skills, visibility, and consistency. I've touched on some of this already, okay? In the previous 2 categories, I've touched on some of this, okay? I've touched about learning. There's a difference between knowledge and competency. There's a difference between knowledge and competency. Knowledge is acquired in familiar context, prepared context, context that have already been massaged to your skill level or your ability level. Competency is built out in the wild, in the jungle. That's where competency is built. Okay. So with knowledge, you're acquiring knowledge, information, data, and you're applying it in very predefined situations and contexts. Competency is the wild west. Okay. It's not defined. It has not been previously massaged, to fit your level. Good. Competency is where you struggle. Okay. Competency, you build competency where you struggle, where you don't. So let me give an example. For the engineers in the room. You are taking a tutorial. The tutorial will tell you which technology to install, which packages to install. The tutorial, even if it tells you, try and code it first. And try your hand. Many of you don't try your hand. You just jump straight to the answer. Maybe they blurred the code snippet. They'll tell you, try first. None of you try first. You unblur it and copy paste. Okay. That's learning. That's knowledge. That's information. With competency, they just give you the idea. And that's what we do in the hackathon. Okay, so in our hackathon, I just give you the app. I don't tell you what to. Go and find out. I just give you the app. I tell you this app. I want you to build it, and that's it. That's all I tell you. I want the app to do this and this. I don't tell you what you use. So that's the difference. Competent people are not afraid of that. Competent people will say, "Oh, okay, let's go research. Okay, to be able to do this, to be able to have a date time picker that allows me to do this. Oh, what is out there?" Then you go and look it up. Then you find like 4 or 5 different packages. Okay, let's test them. Let's benchmark them. That's competence. That's competence. Those of you that are still in nursery school, you say, but what will I use to do it? If you ever find yourself asking that question, you're not competent. If you ever find yourself like wanting to be given what you will use to do something, then you are not competent. You're not. You're not. Not yet. Not yet. You will get there, but not yet. Okay. Competent people are not afraid of ambiguity. They are not afraid of undefined circumstances. They are not. Because they understand that part of their competency is to define it. Part of their competency is to make those decisions. That's competency. So if you're still, hey, what will I use to do it? No, you have not arrived. Okay. So as you are learning, please look for opportunities to build competency. Okay. You have to look for them. A lot of the people who make these courses and boot camps, they don't think in that way. All they're thinking is information, information, information. You have to look for opportunities to build competency, to develop competency. Okay. Because tech hires for competency. So many of you who thought you would do this in 6 months, try 2 years. Okay. Many of you. Okay. Try 2 years. Because competency is built, it's not acquired. You don't sit in a class and get competent. Competency is out in the jungle, in the wild, wild west. Okay. And that's what tech hires for. At least now. Maybe there was a time it was different, but now tech hires for competency. Okay. In terms of, let me say a little bit about this because some of you will hear what I'm saying about learning in public and you go and spend all your time on you go and spend all your time on what is going here? What is going on here? Daniel Lee, what's up? What's going on? I don't know who this is. And who was that? Some people are just. Let me say something about learning in public or posting. Please be disciplined in it. Particularly, see if you are competent and what you are after is your job, have at it. You can use copious amount of time online strategically. Okay. But when you are learning, when you are still in the skill acquisition phase, nothing replaces that. Nothing replaces the time you spend actually augmenting your skills. Okay. So please time box your social media involvement, time box your spaces involvement, time box it. There's a reason why I only do Mentor Corner most once a month. There's a reason why I don't do this every week. There's a reason. It's not because I don't love you people. I don't know. There's a reason. It's because progress is not made by sitting in Mentor Corner. Progress is made by implementing what you get in Mentor Corner. And implementation takes time. Okay. So when you are learning, all this sitting on social media, sitting on platforms, sitting on space is for people who are already competent. They are ready to work. They are willing to work. They are able to work. And they are there putting themselves out there and networking. Please, if you are still learning, if you are still growing, time box your social media involvement. Time box it. Weekdays, 1 hour a day, max. Weekends, 3 hours a day. Time box it. Because if you are not careful, you will spend inordinate amount of time in activities that will not move you forward. Okay? So understand what stage you are in your career journey. Understand that. Okay? I want to say that. Yes, another thing I also want to say about learning in public, particularly for those who are learning, not for freelancers or not for freelancers that are actively looking for gig, okay? But for those who are constantly learning, it's very okay to put a personal component in your posts, okay? Again, these posts are not for engagement, it's for presence, okay? And it's okay to put personal, so it's okay to say things like, this particular topic in this field, I'm really struggling with it. Sometimes I feel like I learned something and then I have to go back and relearn it. It's actually okay. It humanizes you. Have you ever come across people who feel very robotic? Everything they are saying is correct, but they feel very robotic. Okay, nobody likes that. And particularly for 9 to 5 jobs, particularly for fixed employment jobs, likability. See, say what you want. Me, I'm a realist. I am a realist and I'm a very practical person. Likability goes a long way. Likability, yes. And part of what increases your likability is your humanity. Okay. Yeah. So don't be afraid to when you're having those sort of personal moments in your learning. When I say personal, I don't mean to go and share that you were experiencing diarrhea. No. Even when you're sharing personal things, let it still be related to your career. Okay. Don't follow me. Like yesterday, I had a conversation, a Twitter conversation with King Robert and some Oteka. We're talking about movies and soundtrack. But don't follow us. Don't follow. We have jobs. Eh? We have jobs. Don't follow us. Okay, yes. So I'm just saying that to say, don't say, look at how they are vibing. But don't vibe with us. Okay. You that is still in the trenches, stay focused. Okay. Stay focused. You can like, and kick, but don't start opening trade on movie soundtrack. Don't. Okay, don't. Yeah. Because we're not on the same level. All right. Yeah. And I mean that because some of you, you be confused. Okay. Understand who you are not. Okay. Understand who you are not. It's very understand your level. See, to know my mom says something. To know yourself, no because. You understand? Understand your level. Mhm. So I'm just saying that when I attended Render conference and I got to meet a lot of my mentors and my idols, quote unquote, in tech, that I was meeting them does not mean I forgot who I was. When I met Kelsey Hightower in person for the first time in my life, you best believe I was on my best behavior because I understand this is a giant. I'm just a little ant. This is a giant in tech. So as kind and as welcoming as he was, I did not forget myself. Okay. So there are some of you, you know, you jump into the conversation. Oh, this is also my sound. Don't do it. Don't do. Just laugh, kiki. Just put a little like there and keep it moving. Okay, this is me talking as a mother because there are some of you. Okay, you start just because you are on the same internet with King Robert. You are not King Robert. Okay, just okay. Let's go to the last category. Then I'll take some questions. So mindset, we've covered some of this. Typically when I teach, I always teach mindset. Mindset always finds a way in there. So we've already covered some of this. But mindset, mentorship, and growth. I want to say something about mentorship. Somebody asked a question, and I remember this specific question because it made me laugh. Somebody asked a question that in the circle, Pangutong, listen. This person said, in the circle, can we be attached to specific people that will be mentoring us? Or can we have a designated mentor to help us on our journey? From the question, I knew that this person is not one of my regulars. Because if you are one of my regulars, you already know my answer. Those that are laughing, because they already know my answer. So that's how I knew that this person was a JJC. This person just come. They just reached the circle. My regulars are laughing because they already know. They know how I feel about that. So let me break it down for everybody in case you don't know. Okay. Unfortunately, for many of us, particularly in the Nigerian tech space, that word mentor is code for do it for me. It's a code word for do it for me. Give me a job. Find a job for me. Connect me to who give me a job just because you connected. That's what we use that word mentor for. Okay. Now, in the circle, we don't do that kind of mentorship. And the reason for that is because I believe, and I have proven, that a successful tech career is your responsibility. Period, full stop, end of story. It's your responsibility. Nobody in this, and if I see it for any reason, I shut it down. For example, data analysis challenge. I don't know if we have any of them here. In the ongoing data analysis, it is very clear that some people in that challenge are not data analysts. It's very clear. Because the type of question they come and be asking, that's like you calling yourself, I can only say software because I'm an engineer. That's like you calling yourself a software engineer. And then somebody gives you a task that requires you to define an event listener. And you come and you're asking, oh, which event listener will I define? What please, can somebody share with me how that's what's happening in that challenge? And there are some generous participants in that challenge that because of their generosity, they've tried, but I've not allowed them. I've threatened them. I've told them, I said, if I catch you doing this, I'll kick you out. I'll kick you out of it. You will not complete this challenge. Okay. You can call me a witch all you want. After all, I am from the Riverine area. I'm from Akwa Ibom. So, unfortunately for many of you, the kind of mentorship, you will not find it here. But go elsewhere. Okay. Go elsewhere. Yeah. Because your career belongs to you. Your career belongs to you. A mentor. Some of you, your idea, somebody made a comment. I saw it in the toast. He said, and they are right. They say people don't want to climb the ladder again. You're exactly right. What people are looking for in mentorship is the person that puts them on their shoulder. They are climbing the ladder. You are looking for who puts you on their shoulder so that as they are climbing, you too, you are elevating. You will not find it here. You will not find it here. You will not find it here. And if I catch anybody trying to do that for you, I will kick both of you out. You that is looking for it and the person that is trying to do it, I'll kick you both out. The reason I say that is because if we start that practice, it will handicap people's career. It will handicap people's career. So that's the reason why I don't do it. It's not because I hate you. It's not because I don't want you to make it. It's because I refuse to handicap your career. I refuse to sabotage the process of you learning how to build your own career. Okay? So how do I see mentorship? Mentorship is not for beginners. When you are beginning, when you are starting a tech career, when you are starting in a particular tech industry, you don't need mentorship. What I mean, that is, you don't need one-on-one. You don't need to have a designated mentor. This is my mentor. I meet with them every five hours. Everything I'm doing is what they tell me to do. You don't need that. When you are beginning, when you are learning, you are acquiring knowledge, you are acquiring data, you are acquiring information, and you are learning, through different opportunities to apply the knowledge you are learning. At that stage, you are a candidate for what I call crowd-funded mentorship. Crowd-funded mentorship, which is you are getting inputs from different leading voices in the industry. And the people whose voices you are getting input from don't need to know you exist. They don't need to know you exist for you to benefit from them. That is the best way to be mentored. That is the best way to be mentored. Okay? You don't need somebody coming like a teacher in secondary school. Hey, let me see your work. Hey, let me see your. No, you don't need that. And I submit to you, it can distract you. Let me tell you why it's dangerous. Because my own journey is unique to me. I am not you. I don't have your history. I don't have your background. Many of you live in Nigeria. I don't live in Nigeria. So for you to come to me and expect me to be the sole source or the major source of all your information, I will lead you astray. And it's not because I'm trying to. It's not because I'm trying to lead you astray. It's because I'm not you. I don't have your context. That's why you have to maintain ownership of your journey so that you are not led astray by somebody who does not have your context. No matter how much I try, I cannot interpret in total what I can teach Motunrayo to Motunrayo. Motunrayo still has to interpret it for her own context because we are different. We're not the same age. We don't live in the same place. We don't have access to the same markets. We don't have access to the same people. The pressures that she's experiencing are different from my own. So even if she sits under me, quote unquote, I'm her personal individual mentor, there's only so far I can take her. But you see, some of you, because you have that mentality that my mentor will make my career, you'll be shipwrecked. And then you want to blame the mentor. Yeah. Mentorship, listen to me, one-on-one individual mentorship is for specific concerns for people who generally are already established. That is where that one-on-one mentorship makes sense. So let me give an example. I'll give a specific example. One of my mentees, his name is Dibal. Okay. I don't know if he's in the community, but he lives in the UK and he had just landed a job. He has worked in tech, but he worked more in like the mechanical side, mechanical tech side, yes. But now he was in software. So he was more accustomed to hardware kind of things. Now he's in software. And he had already landed the job. And he had started working. But because it was an unfamiliar context in terms of software, he was looking for advice for his first 90 days. Because he wanted to come out making the strongest impression he could in that probationary period of 90 days. Most companies in the US and UK, probationary period is 90 days. So he wanted to maximize his performance in those first 90 days so that he could be converted to permanent full-time and then go from there. I was only too happy to mentor him. First of all, I charged. My rate is $150 an hour. You know why he wasn't afraid? You know why he didn't run? Because he was making money. So he didn't say, mama, the day is coming that I'll be able to afford. No, there's nothing like that. So let me submit to you, a wonderful way, a beautiful way to know whether you are ready for actual one-on-one mentorship. Can you pay for it? If your answer is, mama, to say, then you are not ready. No, you don't need it. You don't need it. Go back to the crowd-funded one. Go back. You don't need it. For me, this is me. If you like, go and drag me on Twitter. This is me. You are ready for mentorship when you can pay for it. When you are not negotiating the price with the mentor. That's when you know you are ready for it. If you are not there, sit down. Like Kendrick Lamar said. He said, be humble. Sit down. Okay. You are not ready for it. And that is a blessing. Let me tell you why it's a blessing. Because there are thieves in tech. There are thieves. There are people that are looking to capitalize on your ignorance. They are looking to capitalize on your lack of experience. They are looking to use you to boost themselves, to augment themselves. So if you are the kind of person that you feel or you believe that you cannot move forward until one specific person is pouring into your life and telling you, oh yeah, turn right here, turn left here, go straight here, reverse here, double back, you turn left. Or if you are that kind of person, you are a prime candidate to be scammed. Okay. So that's the reason I discourage it in the circle. Those are the reasons I discourage that mentality of mentorship in the circle. I get DMs all the time. Mama, can I have a one-on-one with you? Can you pay? If you cannot pay me, get out. Because what that tells me is I will probably be wasting my goddamn time telling you things that you could get on the internet because that's your level. So that's the reason why I do group like this. Group like this, I don't charge because I'm able to make a great impact over a lot of that. But by the time you feel you deserve or you are entitled to one-on-one time with me, you will pay for it. Because then again, I'm an effective mentor. Ask anybody who has had one-on-one with me, nobody will complain. Nobody. Ask anyone that has had one-on-one time with. You're not going to find anybody who complains because I'm about that life. I will give you your money's worth. That's me. So if I'm going to take the time to prepare, you think when I do one-on-one, I just come? No, I don't just come. This is what I just come to. I didn't prepare for this because it's in my soul, it's in my heart, it's in my brain. Okay. I can do this in my sleep. Okay. But when it comes to one-on-one, because it's a specific defined problem or a specific defined ambition that is unique to that person, I do my research. I don't just come and start it because to me, I see you as you're entrusting an aspect of your life to me. I'm not going to fuck that up. God is not going to call me to account. No. Okay. So you will pay. Okay. So for those of you who think maybe there are other communities that do like that, they link you up with people. No, we don't do that here. The most we do is we provide. So for example, we have our Moms in Tech group. We have different sub channels in the community for different, for different tech areas. That's the most we would do. We have our challenges, and for the challenges, each challenge, the dated challenges, the evergreen challenges don't have WhatsApp groups because they're evergreen, they're ongoing. But the dated challenges have WhatsApp groups. So it's cohort. So this cohort going from this day to this day, there's a WhatsApp group for you. So if you have questions or if you just, you just want to be supported, just want to be encouraged, there's a WhatsApp. So that's what we produce. But see, this your career is your own. Don't take the burden of your career and put it on anybody. When I see that behavior, I'll kick you out. If you want to come back, you will beg. Okay, I've warned you. Okay, because everybody here is trying to hustle for themselves. The one way we carry, we never finish to carry out. Then you want me we carry your own. No. So if it is knowledge you are lacking, say it. Don't say, I want a mentor. The specific question you have, ask it in the general channel. Motunrayo, Miracle, King Robert, Marvelous, they will answer you. Joshua, they will answer you there if they have time. If they don't have time, don't drag them because they too, they are building their own career. So there are some of you ask questions, nobody answered me. The reason why nobody answered you is because we too, we are building our own career. So if nobody answered you, go and ask ChatGPT. Or sit down and wait. When the channel is popping, you slot in your question. We're not raising babies in this community. We are empowering people, but we're not raising babies. There's a difference. Okay. So if you are a baby, go to the nursery. Go to the daycare. There are other communities like that they will baby you. Go there. Over here, we are adults. Okay. And we are building together. It's like we're building a city, but everybody has their house. That's this community. It's a city. So we're not isolated. We are not unfriendly. Okay. But it's a city, but everybody is building their house. Okay. So as I'm building my own, maybe it's like your cement want to dry. You need water. Okay, I have some extra water. Yeah, take. But that you expect me to leave my own house to come over to your plot. No, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. Okay. Then as people's houses are being completed, we take a pause and we celebrate with them. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Congratulations. Well done. Then after we finish, we go back to our house. We don't stay there to say, hey, so the way you did it, come and do it for me. No. After you celebrate them, you go back to your own house and you keep building. But we are doing it in a city. It's the Queen Harriet Circle City. So we are together, but we are individual. You understand? You see how it works? We are together, but we are individual. Okay. So I hope that helps somebody. Okay, let me just look at my notes. Okay, so we talked about mentorship. There's somebody that asked a very good. I will answer this and then I'll go to questions because we're coming up on 2 hours. Somebody asked about accountability. Okay, if you are active in the circle, you already have accountability. Okay, when you are active in the circle, you already have accountability. because we have some, we have our, Bumi, Motsunrayo, Marvelous, Miracle. We have our community advocates. Community advocacy, I promote as I see. None of them asked me for their job. I just promoted them and they accepted. So I will continue to add to the official roster of community advocates, but you will demonstrate your ability to perform before I promote you. Okay. So that role, because the community is growing. Okay. So as the community is growing, I'm going to add, but I observe. Okay. I observe. I look for consistency. I look for passion. I look for maturity. That's another thing I look for. I look for maturity. I look for professionalism. If you don't know how to talk, you will never be a community advocate. Okay. So there are some things I look for. And then when I feel like I'm satisfied with what I've seen, then I make the offer. And then you can accept or you can reject. And rejection does not mean anything will happen. You might just not be in a place where you feel you can do that. That's fine. But I make the offer. And so far, all have accepted. Okay. So accountability is just showing up in the circle and being transparent with your journey. You will find accountability. I want an accountability partner. It's like the baby version of mentorship. Okay. The baby version. Whenever I hear people, I want an accountability partner, is the baby, What that says is I'm looking when I'm not feeling motivated. I want somebody to ginger me. Ginger yourself. Ginger yourself or get out. Okay. There's a difference if you are running with somebody. Let's say you're running. There's a difference between your running partner or the person running beside you stumbling. And as they stumble, you hold out your hand to steady them, just to steady them until they regain their footing. That's fine. That's community. That's community. What we will not do in this circle is not only did you stumble, but you fell, you rolled off the side of the road, and then you're on the side of the road crying about your wounds. We will leave you there. When you're ready to stand up, you can stand up. There's a difference. Okay, so I'm setting a precedent here because in this circle, we will win. In this circle, we will progress. See, there are people who do community and what makes them happy is to see how many numbers and how many people are chatting. That's not me, okay? The only thing that makes me happy in this community is when people get jobs, when people get gigs, when people get money. When I pray, because I pray for the circle every day, I spend time with God and I pray for each and every one of you in this circle. When I pray, I'm not praying for, Baba, let them discuss, let them share, no, that's not what I'm praying. What I'm praying is let them get the bag, let them get money, let them get more money, let them get even more money. Okay, so that's my definition of success. In case you were wondering, I want the circle to be such that we have more and more people as examples and as that is as representation of what can be, and less people still making it. I want that balance. I want it to be balanced. I don't want to have like 95% of people are still struggling and only 5%. No, I want it to be more like 45% are making it and get it, and then 55. And the reason why that is bigger is because more and more people will be joining the community. You understand? And then I want to see people graduate from the community where I love this community. I've enjoyed myself. I feel like I'm beyond it. That's fine. To me, that's growth. If you ever get to the place where you feel you are beyond the circle, go. Go with my blessing, go with my gratitude. Because there is such a thing as outgrowing a community. That's beautiful. Because as you are living, 10 will be entering. Okay? So I don't see this. I'm not trying to hold on to people. Don't go. No. I'm not territorial. Because my focus is not numbers. My focus is advancement. And as long as you're advancing, I'm succeeding. Okay? So there's a difference. We're running together. Somebody stumbles, somebody trips over a rock or something. We're there to steady you. Don't fall. We got you. Even if I have to slow down a little bit because you stumble, no problem. I'll slow down. Hey, you good? You good? We are shake it off. Oh yeah, shake it off. Then you shake it off. Then we keep going. But those of you that want to throw pity party, you are on your own. I tell you for free. You want to sit on this. Hey, this thing hit my leg. I don't like how it hit my leg. I don't like this. It's okay. You are free to do that. Nobody will be joining you. Okay? Nobody will be joining you. Just know that. Okay. Okay, so that was accountability. I talked about mentor. People asked about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is there to validate the fact that you're doing something greater than yourself. Imposter syndrome is your friend. Okay, so stop being afraid of it. Stop thinking that it's an abnormal thing. Okay, it's stagnant people never have imposter syndrome. Okay, people going nowhere to happen never experience imposter syndrome. Okay, so if you are experiencing imposter syndrome, it is simply because you are actually going somewhere. It's because you are attempting something that is currently, not forever, but currently beyond your ability. Okay, so that's what imposter syndrome is there for. Okay, so imposter syndrome is not negative. Imposter syndrome is not something to be afraid of or to be anxious for. Imposter syndrome is to be acknowledged and ignored. Okay, write that down. Imposter syndrome is to be acknowledged and ignored, and you keep on doing what you're doing. All right, it doesn't go away because imposter syndrome is there to validate your elevation, is to validate your ambition. That's what it's there for. Does that make sense? Am I still audible? Please send me some emojis. If I'm still audible, send me some emojis, please. Okay, thank you. All right. So in the Queen Arid circle, we do not fear imposter syndrome. We do not speak on imposter syndrome as if it's this abnormal thing. We actually welcome imposter syndrome, but we do not throw it a party. Just a quick welcome, and then we ignore it. Okay. The antidote to imposter syndrome is action. The antidote to imposter syndrome is action. Okay. Imposter syndrome gains power when you focus on it, when you give it attention. Okay, so what we do is we acknowledge it. We don't try to push it away. We don't try to get it out. We don't try not to feel it. What we do is we acknowledge it and then we ignore it in the corner, like a misbehaving child. You just ignore it. Okay, and you answer imposter syndrome with action. Action. Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's it. I think I covered most of the questions that people asked fit into one of those 4 categories, and I think I've covered them well. So let's go to the chat and see. Debbie said, those of us who prayed for good gigs, amen. No. Yes, okay. So if you have any specific, I'll spend about 15 minutes. We will end at the top of the hour because we've been here for 2 hours. So say, Mama, came down hard on us. Yes, I mean, that's why we're here. Am I here to rock you to sleep? Kumbaya? No. Jesus say, I'm still your baby. Yes, you can be my baby, but don't be a baby. Okay, there's a difference. I am my parents' child, but I am not a child. Okay. All right. What about dads in tech? We should have a dads in tech group. King Roberts, will you be willing to head that up? I think that's a fantastic idea. Let's have a dads. I'll talk to the community advocates. Let's have a dads in tech group. But we just need some sensible dads in there. That's all. I don't know if King Robert is a dad. King Robert, are you a dad? I know you're married, but I don't know if you're a dad. Okay. Bless someone say sit down.
King Robert is not dad yet.
Oh, not yet. Amen. Amen. We're getting amen. Amen. We're getting there. Okay, no problem. But we'll put him there. And that is we'll speak those things. Like the scripture says, speak those things. So we'll put him there. Okay. All right. I'm just looking. See, another table is shaking. That's what I do. I shake tables. So this should be tagged recalibrate. Yes. A lot of what we do here is recalibration. Because a lot of what I teach is tested. These are not just opinions. Yes, they're opinions, but they're not just opinions. They are tested. They are tested from my life, and then I've mentored for many years. So I've observed the patterns that work and the patterns that, So I'm just here to help you. Somebody said the constant pause and stare into the camera. Joseph says, when will challenge for product designers? So I'll answer that question in 2 parts. The flagship product of the circle is our hackathon. Okay, that's our flagship activity. All these challenges that we now have are a new development. But what we are known for is our hackathon. And the hackathon is for designers, developers, and product managers. So if it looks like I'm ignoring designers and developers, that's not true. It's because the hackathon is designed for you people. And this is like a month-long experience, yes. And we do it now twice a year. So the hackathon is designed for you. Yeah, it's designed for you. It's with you in mind. Cybersecurity people don't participate in the hackathon. Technical writers don't participate in, you understand? So because we have these other groups represented in the circle, I want to make sure that they have resources as well. So that's why the challenges are geared for them. Now, in the future, I could come up with some challenge ideas for designers that are separate from the hackathon. It just takes time. I have a full-time job. I have a full life. Yes. So I'm not doing a Queen Arid Circle full-time. Yes. So I want to explain. It might look like I'm neglecting you. I'm not. The hackathon is for you. And there's one coming up in October. Application forms are going to be live very soon for that. Okay. Application forms for the hackathon are going to go live very soon. And then in September, we're going to have information sessions about the hackathon. We'll have spaces and we'll have information sessions. Yes. Okay. So we have stuff for you. Yeah. I want to be born again to rivers. Blessed. Yeah, nobody wants to climb. Yeah, I talked about that. Yes, even a mentor need a mentor. Thank you very much, Oshe. Thank you. So you that is looking for mentor, me, what of me? Okay. It's giving feed me. Vera is very correct. Vera testified. She testified in one of the spaces yesterday, I think, or recently, about how just hearing, you see, true mentorship does not require, you can be mentored by many people. And the people that are mentoring you don't have to know you exist. That's the thing with mentorship. Somebody does not have to know you for their information to impact you. You understand? It's like going to church. How many people are cozy with the pastor? But every time you go and you hear a word that you take and you run with it, it's the same concept. Or you go to mosque, you listen to the imam, right? Whoever your spiritual leader is. It's the same thing even in class. Sometimes the teacher may not, especially in this big, I remember in college, organic chemistry were hundreds of students, hundreds. How would the teacher know each student by name? But did we pass? Yes. We got our A's and our B's. We passed. So please You need to, if you are going to be excellent, if you're going to excel in tech, you have to abandon this mentality that every step of the way you need somebody to be telling it. It's giving childishness. It's children. It's children that have you ever gone to the playground? They climb one step, they turn around, they look for their mother. That's what it's giving. They take another step, they look around, they look for their mother. And then the mother say, yes, yes, Johnny, Johnny, keep going. Then Johnny will climb again. It's children. It's children that require that constant validation. It's children. Okay. But we're not children. We're not children. Okay. This is enlightening. Yeah, I'm glad. It gives inauthenticity. Yes, Vera, you're correct. You see, King Robert said, he thanked God 3 years ago. You see, so it's referencing a wisdom he got 3 years ago from me. Meanwhile, that 3 years ago, I didn't know him from Adam. I didn't know he existed. It's now that I know he's in my network. It's now that we are connected. But he gained something, but I didn't know. That's the hack. I'm telling you, for advancement in tech, that's the hack. Learn to take from people without needing those people to know who you are. It's a hack. Okay. All right. Somebody said they've caught me. I know. People always say that mentor corner is like stray bullet session. Bullets will just be hitting you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Marvelous. David said, specific. Yeah, I have to be. One thing with the circle is the circle. We're going from learning to earning, and this is the reality. Going from learning to earning requires knowledge or requires information that is not always industry specific. You understand? Yeah. So that's why I'm comfortable having all the fields that we have represented. It's because in the circle we're not teaching fields, we're not teaching cybersecurity, we're not teaching marketing, we're not teaching like scoped knowledge. We are teaching general career advancement topics. So it's applicable regardless of your field. Right now, are there some specific advices that yes are field specific? Absolutely. And when it is, I will indicate. I will always indicate this is more suited for this. This is more suited for that. But in the circle, we are going from learning to earning. This is not skill acquisition. We're not here giving you boot camps, just throwing boot camps in your face. Learn this. No. If that's what you go elsewhere, okay. In the circle, majority of us in the circle have a baseline of skills already. Majority. Now we have some total newbies, and that's fine. You're welcome. Okay, you are welcome. We have some total newbies, but majority of us have something already to offer. Okay, where we are or the challenge we are facing is that bottleneck. There's a bottleneck. There really is, right? There's a bottleneck. This side is, because of boot camps, YouTube, everybody knows. Okay, but the narrower end is those who are earning, and there's a bottleneck because this part keeps growing, keeps expanding, keeps getting bigger. But then at some point you get to this bottleneck of, okay, I have all this knowledge and skills, but how do I make that transition to now I'm making money? This bottleneck is a dragon in tech, and that's the dragon I've chosen to slay. Okay, a lot of people are here. A lot of communities, you see, this is what they focus on. Is this learning? Acquisition, knowledge acquisition, bootcamp, courses, and that's fine. I'm not knocking that. Okay, but eventually they will get to the bottleneck, and it's a real thing here. Okay, and this is the bottleneck that prevents the money. Okay, you get stuck here, you never get to where now you're with the money. Okay, so this is where I have focused the circle. Okay, I've had people complain, oh, we don't have learning materials. Get lost. That's not what get lost. Okay, you can come back when you've gone to where there's learning materials and then you can come back. Okay, I'm very, very intentional about focusing on this bottleneck. You know why? Because I like money. You see me and money, we are 5 and 6. Yeah. So because I like money so much, I've decided to slay the dragon that prevents people from getting money. Okay, that's what I've decided to do. So that's my unique contribution to the tech industry. Okay, with all due respect to those who are choosing other areas, and we need all of them. Okay, but that bottleneck is a killer. Okay, a lot of people drop out of tech because of that bottleneck. It's not because they were not smart, they were not intelligent, it's not because of that, but they were not able to get past that bottleneck, and so they give up and they go and do something else. And I think that's a tragedy. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. All right. Okay. Let me see the most recent questions. Okay, Samuel, you again. There's a company that has been engaging, their startup. I've been engaging with the CEO. I'm trying to shoot for the support. Okay, support agents. I've been on the I'm connected with the CFO. Okay. I sent the CEO a connection. He accepted. He's US based. Okay. Their Facebook, you are supporting, you have a bit of knowledge. Okay, but you don't really know how to get the job. In all this, I'm anticipating failure. I know that's okay. Sometimes like anticipating failure does not mean you're a failure. It just means that maybe that's what you're used to. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. help me with your strategy. I'm open to playing the long game. So you've already been playing the long game, and that's great. The fact that you're active in their Facebook, the fact that so what I would ask is, do they have any open positions? Okay, do they have any open positions at all? Okay, it sounds like maybe they don't, because I feel like if they had an open position, you would have applied. Okay, so if they don't have an open position, then the next thing I would say is, maybe just ask. Maybe you start with the CFO, since you're connected with the CFO. Okay, maybe you can just ask, what is the, I'm just curious, what is the state of your support force? Do you have like a defined support force? Do you have like, a defined number of employees that are providing consistent support? And what is the, are they like is it understaffed? Are they, how are they handling the volume of, again, you're positioning yourself as like, I'm interested in the health of this company. I'm interested in the success of this company. I'm interested. Yeah. So you can maybe ask questions like that and see if they respond in any way like, oh, we are really understaffed, or, we are, because sometimes, let me tell you something, companies will remain understaffed because they want to keep their money. Just the truth. They want to keep their money. Like, they don't want to spend their money. So they know they are understaffed, but they don't want to increase staff because they don't want to reduce the amount of money that they have. So they are sort of like, there's a finessed way that you can kind of figure out, because if that's the truth, then for right now, they may not have a job for you. And it's not because they don't like you or because they don't think you would be a good addition. They just don't have the money to pay you. Okay? And sometimes don't take it personal, you know. Not yet. Sorry, people. Don't take it personal. Yeah. So there's a way you can find out, because you see, what you don't want to do is you don't want to go and do a hard pitch and then it falls flat on its face because there's no money to pay you. So since you already have that connection with them, you can you can use it to kind of ascertain, what really is the state of their support staff or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. You can just get more information. But when I say, why is King Robert denying we are his children? Okay, Daniel Lee, you are the one that your video was persisting earlier. Thank you. My question is regarding the part of getting clients. What can someone do when you've researched and found a good prospect for networking in the company you're looking at, but the person doesn't post often? How do you still get noticed before getting into the DM? Okay, so one way to do that. So some people, like for me, I'm not active on LinkedIn. I'm just not, right? Maybe a day will come that I will be, but I'm not active on LinkedIn. So I check LinkedIn maybe once every 3 months, if that. That's just the reality. So what I would do is a number of things. Find out where they're active, if they're active anywhere. Some people are just not active on social media, period, right? So find out if they're active anywhere. Just do a search, do a search online, see if they're active anywhere, see if they have accounts anywhere else. And if they do, and it looks like they're active in those accounts, then join those accounts and interact there. Okay, because you're targeting them, right? So this doesn't mean that you go and join 20 accounts and you go and join 20 platforms and you'll be following 20 platforms. No, don't do that. It's not practical. But if you are targeting somebody, then it makes sense to maybe take some extra steps. Okay, so you can look into that. If they are somewhat active but not that active on the LinkedIn, then you can try a strategy where, now this needs to make sense. You can try a strategy where maybe there's some information about them on the internet, maybe an accomplishment they are linked to or something. You can create content and then tag them, but the content needs to make sense. Because if you're just tagging them to tag them, it becomes very obvious that that's what you're doing. Okay. So if you can create content that is relevant either to their job or their role or their accomplishments that are available online that you found, then you can tag them. It makes better sense. Don't tag them in isolation. It's better you tag them as a group of people you are tagging. Again, you don't want it to be so obvious that you're trying to. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Yeah. I have a question regarding the CV aspect. Should the CV be tailored with the job description? Both. Like, I remember at the height of my job search, I had like 5 CVs. I had 5 because there were some jobs that were very Ruby Rails heavy. And so I tailored my CV to highlight that experience. There were some jobs that were more JavaScript and I didn't have that much JavaScript experience. So I tailored that. Yeah. So I had, yeah. I think gone are the days. There was a time when people would say if you have more than one CV, it's a red flag. I think those days are dead. I think those days are gone. And if anybody even has question about it, you can easily explain that by saying, I work with tailored resume so that I can present myself in the best light possible for the position. Once you say that, anybody who still wants to make it a problem is a fool, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, that person's an idiot. Yeah. Or that person is old school. They just don't know how things are done now. Yeah. But, tailored resumes are a good idea. If you have, again, I support a tailored resume when you have like some information beyond the generally available information about a job or about a position. Yeah. Maybe you've talked to somebody in the company, you've interacted with somebody, they've given you some tips. Absolutely tailor your resume in accordance to what you've gotten. But if you don't have that information, then a general resume is fine as well. So have several. Just have several and just use them wherever. Now, how can it be written to pass ATS? Use ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is very helpful. So let's say, copy the job description, okay, paste it in ChatGPT, then tell ChatGPT to give you the ATS keywords for that description. Use AI. Everybody is. I am. So use AI. Okay.